Ladies and gentlemen, this is a YouTube show in which you are brought Slot Machine Sunday, Money Cards Monday, Tic Tac Tuesday, Whammy Mania Wednesday, Thundercracker Thursday, and Flinging Dice Friday and Saturday Superstarcade. Also, wrestling news from Raw, NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, NXT UK, Impact Wrestling, SmackDown and 205 Live, and AEW Rampage, and special episodes from Road and Up, Cyber Swaggin', and the philosophies of Lee McLeese. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube show of fun, of knowledge, strategy, luck and daring, and mental shenanigans. This is WEML-TV Channel 77. And now here's the host of the show, live from New Bedford, Massachusetts. It is none other than Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, for that lovely intro. Hello, world. Once again, this is your friendly neighborhood bumbling Bofa Raybird and the 2021 five-time bumbling Bozos Bozy Awards nominee, Eric Lima, coming at you with another episode of WEML-TV, Channel 77, episode 984, a sweet 16 episodes away from reaching the milestone of 1,000 episodes of WEML-TV, Channel 77. Now, usually after 1,000 episodes, I try to open up a new season of the show, and I'm really stoked about this. This is really cool because tomorrow is the Elimination Chamber, and what I have here is the final SmackDown live of the until that Elimination Chamber, and also the debut of a new show, 205 Live, Dead, Gone, and Buried, rest in peace. 205 Live died February the 11th, 2022. Last time we saw 205 Live. Gives birth to a new show called NXT Level Up, where you see the superstars of tomorrow trying to climb up the ranks of NXT and will hopefully one day be on Raw and or SmackDown. Or both Raw and SmackDown. And hopefully capture major championships there. So why don't we say we get into it, right? The final SmackDown before the tomorrow afternoon's Elimination Chamber starts at noon. Adam Pearce oversaw the women's tag team contract signing. Sonya Deville and Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champ, enter first, and then Naomi and Ronda Rousey, who means to be good buddies now, came afterwards. All four women were trash talking to each other, but Sonya Deville put in a stipulation because he overheard that Ronda Rousey said she could beat Sonya Deville with one arm tied behind her back. So that's that. So Ronda Rousey didn't care, signed it up. And then both Ronda Rousey and Naomi attacked Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville, knocking them outside of the ring. Sheamus was talking to Ridge Holland about he was bothered by Ridge Holland losing to Ricochet last week. And now this week, it's Sheamus' turn to go up against Ricochet to teach him a lesson. Sheamus went one-on-one with Ricochet. It was more speed and lightning quickness versus the power of Sheamus. And the mistake that cost Sheamus the matchup, as this match was doing well, Ridge Holland jumped on the apron. Sheamus says, "What are you doing?" And then Sheamus did not like the move, shoves Ridge Holland to the mat after the loss. Caleb Braxton interviewed Sami Zayn, as Sami Zayn says he's planning on walking out of SmackDown as the brand new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And the guy just wouldn't shut up. Personally, if I went up against Sami Zayn, I would put a stipulation for a hair and beard versus hair match. I lose, my head gets shaved. Sami loses, his hair and beard come off. And if he refuses after he loses the match, I would put Sami Zayn to sleep and cut his hair. Can't stand him. But, he does good at that. Then they had a segment on The Undertaker, who will be inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame this year in Dallas, Texas. And they had a lot of tributes to him, from being the Dead Man, the Grim Reaper, the American Badass, the Lord of Darkness. I mean, you can go on with all the monikers that he has. But let me tell you something. The Undertaker, I'm not shocked he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He should be there. He belongs to being in there. And so congratulations to the dead man. That's right. The Undertaker is now going to be a WWE Hall of Famer. Totally awesome. I'm excited about that. Meanwhile, the Reigns, Usos, and Paul Heyman are hanging out in Reigns' locker room, trying to think about that face-to-face with Goldberg as the title match cut a promo, as they recap all the confrontations that they had. This match was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but COVID kind of changed all that, unfortunately. And so, speaking of the Usos, Jey Uso went one-on-one with Ivar. Now, I noticed something that last week, Ivar and Eric of the Viking Raiders, both Viking Raiders, did not come up with their helmets. Unfortunately, when the Usos attacked them, they stole the helmets, the war helmets that they wear to the ring, as far as Viking Raiders are concerned. It was a heck of a matchup, but in the end, when Ivar got Jey Uso dead to rights, Jimmy Uso came in with the tag team title, getting Ivar the win by disqualification. But the Viking Raiders got their head war gear back. Which I think is pretty cool. Drew McIntyre came out and dresses, talking about the New Orleans Saints, talking about how when they won the Super Bowl in 2010, they interrupt Madcap Moss. Addressing Madcap Moss in his matchup, Falls Count Anywhere. Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin interrupt McIntyre, and Madcap Moss had a weak, lame joke. So we got that one. Caleb Braxton interviews Shinsuke Nakamura, and how Shinsuke Nakamura is planning to kick Sami Zayn's face in. They had the Intercontinental Championship match. It was a back-and-forth match, just like NXT TakeOver a few years back, 6 years ago, I believe. But in the end, Sami Zayn took advantage of an injured knee by Shinsuke Nakamura and beat him and pinned him to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Sami Zayn's your new Intercontinental Champion. I know what y'all thinking. He's going to lose that title to Johnny Knoxville. Well, personally, might not happen, but for, I don't know, logical reasons, probably money, Lenny Nebraska makes it happen. But I like Johnny Knoxville. I like the Jackass show, but him as Intercontinental Champion, I hope Johnny Knoxville knows what he's doing. Who knows? And then Johnny Knoxville says, "You want your belt? You want your belt back? All you gotta do is just beat, So there's that. So Sami Zayn's your new Intercontinental Champion. Ali and Ricochet were talking about Ricochet's matchup, and Sami Zayn interrupts over the conversation, shows off the Intercontinental title that he won. He was very happy. And then Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman headed to the ring. Paul Heyman is back in his position as the wise counsel, to the tribal chief. So Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman head to the ring, addressing the crowd in New Orleans as they prepare for a face-to-face against Goldberg. Goldberg comes out, interrupts Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, but then Goldberg said this to Roman Reigns: "When it comes to the Universal title, I'm next." How's that for a twist, huh? How's that for a twist? All right, let's talk about the debuting new show, NXT Level Up, replacing 205 Live. I think I said in a couple of videos that Quinn McKay is now signed on with the WWE, and now is the ring announcer for the new NXT Level Up show, and her WWE given name was Kelly Kincaid. So I'm really excited about that. Sudu Shah is one of the newest commentators, replacing Vic Joseph, who's doing Monday Night Raw. Harlan went one-on-one with Javier Bernal. Harlan won in dominant fashion. But before that, Joe Gacy addresses the Orlando crowd and talked about the newest show where everybody's included, NXT Level Up. In women's action, in fact, surprisingly, there was no women's women's matchup on SmackDown except for the contract signing between the four ladies that we might see down below your files or something like that. Before then, Joe Gacy addressed the Orlando crowd, talking about NXT Level Up, how everybody should be equal. I'm kind of hoping that Joe Gacy stops hiding behind the Iron Knuckle statue and start fighting Link like a man. But women's action, Fallon Henley and Kayla Inlay go up against Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile. Now, we saw Henley and Inlay fight in singles competition, and we saw Ivy Nile, but Tatum Paxley was the newcomer, and that was the main key, because nobody saw how Tatum Paxley fights. Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley did win the tag team matchup, so Malcolm Bivens better be on that case. So, the main event for this matchup, Kushida, one half of Jacket Time with Ike Minjiro against Idris Enofe, who had Malik Blade in his corner. It was a hard-fought matchup in the end, though. Idris Enofe won, and both competitors shook hands, and so does Malik Blade and Ike Minjiro. So, that is it. That's all the time we have on this show. It is episode 984, February the 18th, 2022, 10:44 p.m. I'm done, and so until tomorrow's episode, peace, love, and God's blessings from heaven above through me to you. I will see you in the next episode, 985, of WEML-TV, Channel 77. Peace out and good night.